Yep. Mac 11 Soul Invest returns. You caught me before I shaved. This will be the rave before the shave. So, let's talk about being bolder. Not being a boulder. We're not just big rocks, even though I could probably spin that into the conversation somewhere. Maybe later. Being bolder. Now, this concept of being bold, has been more and more prevalent in my thought space, in my feeling space, in my action space. Because what does it mean? It means doing what you're doing, but doing it in a way that has a little bit more confidence, a little bit more bravery, a little bit less bedside manner, a little bit less catering to just the general social milieu, the general societal expectations, just being more of yourself. And if that ruffles a little bit of feathers, you don't really care. You're more so in line with your vision, what needs to be said, what needs to be done. Sorry if the angle's a little bit weird. This camera that I'm using doesn't have a front camera. Not yet, at least. I saw an ad for one of these clip-on, probably magnetic or whatever. You can just clip it onto anything, and then boom, you just have a front camera. So, probably gonna buy that soon. Or just buy a new camera. Anyway. Being bolder is being more in line with your vision than it is being in line with what people expect of you, what they expect of the situation. You are yourself. You are aligned with your vision. You have that tunnel vision in a beneficial way. And you're going to make some stuff happen. You're not wishy-washy about it. You are clear, precise. You are direct about it. Being bolder. Now, this goes in line with the concept that, look, we don't honestly know when we're going to croak, when we're going to kick the bucket. We don't know when it's going to happen. Honestly. Like, let's get in line with that. Let's get really, really honest and true about that. Let's get really stoic about it. Memento mori. Shout out to whoever's the, stoicism guy, right? If you know, you know, right? Shout out to that guy. I don't know his name, but, memento mori, yeah, he wears the ring with the skull, yeah, cool. I got the skull necklace. Boom. We got it going on. Anyway, so remember, memento mori, remember your death. You're gonna die. It might be sooner than you would hope, right? We can make an estimate, like, yeah, I'll probably die around 80 or 90, I'm gonna get my body right, I'm gonna do better, with my health, my physical fitness, by the time I'm, 45, 50 plus, yada yada. Which, by the way, I don't care if you're 18 or 20 or 30 or whatever, or older, get fit now. Get fit now. Get fitter now. Get bolder now. Stop waiting. You know that longevity is a thing. You know that croaking, kicking the bucket, is a thing. Stop thinking that you have time. You're assuming that you have time. What you grasp, what you're actually able to grasp, what's actual tangible, is just this, right here, right now. All the more reason to get bolder now. To get bolder now. Honestly, it's like, yeah, I'm laughing about it because that's just like my style, where I can achieve seriousness and silliness at the same time, right? It's like, oh, you think this is funny? Like, in a cosmic sort of sense, yes. But in a day-to-day, moment-to-moment sense, like, let's get real. Like, let's make these things happen. The more and more we get in line with this stuff, the more and more the gravity sets in. But it doesn't have to be, like, dense and morbid. It's just like, look, like, emotionally neutral, and it can stay light, right? It can be morbid and light at the same time, where it's like, look, I'm gonna die. I don't know when. That's a big question mark. Life is a mystery. There are millions of questions that I'm not going to answer. There are a million questions that anybody in my circle isn't going to answer. There are millions of questions that no human may ever answer. We're just floating around on this big old rock of mystery, surrounded by more mysteries, and we're going to croak at some point. We don't know when. That's a mystery. So all the more reason to get a little bit more bold, and at the same time, right, all of these things simultaneously. Bold, serious, focused, silly, playful, resilient, creative, sporty, nonsensical, observational, emotionally neutral, innovative, family-oriented, relationship-oriented, communicative, honest, etc., etc. I could go on, but I want to keep this video relatively short. Relative? Blink, blink. Like, relative to what? To who? Right? Relative to your attention span? Right? So, let's put a nice bow on this conversation, and then off to bigger, better things. Bigger, better, bolder things. Whoa! Tied that in. But yeah, speaking of a physical big rock boulder, you know, it makes me think of the Greek legend of the guy who keeps pushing the big boulder uphill, only to have it roll down by the end of the day, and then he does the same thing forever. Well, the way that I see it, the boulder is part of nature. The Greek mythology is part of nature. The humans in the myth are part of nature. So it's just like, at the end of the day, be the boulder, be the one that is hard to manage, but just stays there and is solid, rock solid in its identity. Like, yeah, you can push me around, but, I'm gonna go back to my settled gravity, just like, boom, I'm just gonna settle back to where I am. Like, I am where I am. Like, you can push me around. Like, even if you have super strength and you get some distance and some traction on me, I'm going to settle back to my spot, because my spot is my spot. I am where I am. I am who I am. I am that I am. Right? So, be bolder. Be the symbolic boulder. By the way, I just completely pulled that out of my butt on the spot. The perks of working with children, the perks of prioritizing creativity, innovation, communication, fun, and play, right? So, if you found this channel, if you found me by, somebody referencing me or recommending me, it's because of these types of traits, okay? It's like, I could be serious and focused and also playful and innovative and creative and spontaneous. And all the while being helpful, providing that value, right? Take the golden nuggets that resonate with you and take them to heart. Bring them into your soul, get that 1%, that 1 degree change that massively alters your life in a beneficial way. All aspects of your life. All of that. Anyway, more later. This is Mac 11, Soul Invest Returns. Catch you